You're listening to the Reluctant Adult Podcast. If you like what you're hearing, follow us on social media and leave us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. This is the way.
I don't want to grow up. I'm a Toys R Us kid. There's a million.
Oh, this week from the internet. Better late than pregnant. Super7's The Simpsons Ultimate Series 2 is finally shipping. Plus, forget Jurassic Park. Welcome to The Gunn Show. Mattel's 93 Classic Collection Dennis Nedry answers the question, do you even lift, bro? And James Gunn's Superman movie is already leaking. But is that spillage synthetic or the genuine article? My cat's breath smells like cat food. It's the Reluctant Adult Podcast.
Don't you be a dummy! Buckle your safety belt! Think, Billy. It's morphin' time!
Ooh, welcome to another episode of the Reluctant Adult Podcast. My name is Paul, and I am joined, as always, by the man who orders his Dune 2 popcorn bucket with extra butter, Bill.
Hi, everyone. That's right. And I also make sure I get an ample supply of napkins to go with that.
Gotta get the napkins.
Key.
No popcorn, though. Keep the popcorn separate. Don't want to...
Yeah.
There's no reason
So
to
just
actually...
so just extra butter and napkins in the Dune popcorn bucket, but no popcorn
right.
in it.
Hold the popcorn. Wow. You know, we found out about this popcorn bucket weeks ago, but only now has the movie come out and people are actually getting it. So it's like, wait a minute. It feels like we've been doing this for so long, but now it's actually happening.
You know? Now it's here. I mean, we had
now
people
it's
with
here.
like samples, and now people are bringing them to the theater to see Dune Part 2. I still haven't watched Dune Part 1 all the way through.
Is it on Max?
It is on Max. It's taken 3 viewings so far, and at this point, I don't think it's for me. But
it's a lot of movie.
It seems like a lot of movie. I did see somebody dressed up like a sandworm to go see the movie, so that was exciting.
Cool.
He was at the concession stand, or they were at the concession stand purchasing not a popcorn bucket, but purchasing something. So it was just kind of...
You saw this in person or online?
I didn't see it in person. No, I haven't gone to the movies in months, it feels like, but I saw it online. So
all right, that's fun. People are embracing the fun of the theater. I think that's what we need because people don't want to go back.
No, I barely want to go back to Ghostbusters, but
get that trap. You got to go to all the theaters.
I don't know if I want the trap. I kind of want the Slimer bucket, the AMC bucket that they just revealed.
It's very limited.
Is it really?
That's what I saw. It was like a very small run, but I think it's also going to be on the website. It was like going up on the 23rd, like before.
Well, you know how quickly I got that Barbie popcorn bucket. I feel like it began with Ghostbusters. That if I go and get this popcorn bucket, that's where it should end. Is with
that
Ghostbusters.
Makes sense. Yeah, it's a nice bookend. Sure.
It
with the Ecto 1, end with the trap. Or no, you said you don't care about the trap. You want the Slimer. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the trap looks exciting too, I guess. So
which one?
I like the AMC one. It looks a little bit more weathered.
It does, yeah. The weathering I think is better, but the doors are weird. They seem short. They don't. It doesn't seem right. I'm confused.
At the end of the day, I feel like we're not really looking for like high detail on our popcorn bucket. I mean,
speak for yourself, sir. I want a prop replica exact from my popcorn.
I want
bucket.
the cheapest means to get a prop.
Well, it's funny, because
the
AMC one is $40.
Okay.
And then the Regal one is $25, and the Regal one has lights and sound. But like you said, the AMC one has a better paint job. But then, Hasbro just had their HasLab for 2 in the box where you get a trap and PKE meter. What was that? 250?
Around there, 299, I think.
299?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, that's a lot then. Because I was like,
It was
if
up
you
there.
double, let's say you're paying half the cost of.
Yeah.
Well, then it's I don't know. I was trying to be like, well, why am I wasting $40 on a popcorn bucket? I could get the real deal for a little bit more.
Sure.
But I guess it's a lot more. It's a lot more.
It is. It is a lot
But
more.
it's still $40, even if it's like a fourth. Like would you rather have 4 popcorn buckets or one really good trap?
I guess I'd rather have the one really good trap because what's
you
the longevity
rather
of a
have
popcorn bucket?
A small amount of good pizza or a medium amount of really good pizza?
What's the exchange rate on Shroot Bucks to Stanley Nickels?
Have you? So I in a previous episode talked about how I do not like the fact that they are adding in deleted scenes into the regular episodes, and I didn't like the fan cut because I just thought it was weird. But I've been watching them because there's so many now. They're all the way up to the season that Michael leaves. And
Yes.
it's wonderful because it's the closest we will ever come to having new episodes of The Office and have it feel like The Office. Because it's all new stuff for the most part. Like the bones of the episode are there, but there's so much new content that you've never seen. So it's like a whole new show. It's really amazing.
Okay, so you're kind of turned the corner on this.
I've definitely turned the corner. So the episode with the Shroot Bucks, you see so much more of the Shroot Bucks. You find out the background from where they came from. You see him with them. He was signing each one of them. He had them spread out all over the table. There's so much more backstory to Shroot Bucks.
Oh, wow. Oh, interesting. Okay. I might give it a whirl. I mean, I was always big on like the DVD sets when they did have like all the deleted scenes not incorporated, but like in addition to.
Right.
And, you know, although it was fun because it was like, oh, this is like 45 minutes worth of deleted scenes.
Right. Yeah, man, I wonder if there
was
more.
a lot.
Like, could they do
It's gotta
another
be.
round of the fan cut where it's like the worst? Like, this is the worst stuff that fell on the cutting room floor.
You bring it all the way back to like Blade Runner when they had so many different cuts of that film, like the theatrical, which was just butchered, all the way to like the Ridley Scott cut and the director's cut and the extended edition, all that stuff. And it's like, well, which one is the best? And then they're like, well, coming soon, we've just added and found 5 more minutes of archival footage.
Wow. And then you got
with sandworms.
Then you got, the special edition where you go back and film new stuff. It's like,
Yeah,
where
you
does
film
it end?
Yourself. You have AI, AI generated cut.
Well, that's coming soon.
That's next.
How did you want this story to end? It's like
Right?
Mad Libs.
This is the what if.
Luke Skywalker became a robot and had sex with C-3PO. You wanted to see it. We were all thinking it. Somebody asked once, why do all the protocol droids have their arms at like 90-degree angle? Like, is there any lore that explains why they would be designed that way?
I can't think of any. They have that piston joint underneath from the forearm all the way to like the
but does it
armpit
bend?
area.
Does the arm bend? I feel like
gives
they're
a little
frozen.
bit of piston. I feel like they're like I think it's probably to kind of give it credence that they are not necessarily human. They're human enough, and it's just to differentiate the movements, and probably to allow Anthony Daniels, because he was a trained mime.
Oh, really?
So probably, yeah. So he was probably like it was probably a recommendation on his part, but like, I need to look a little bit more mechanical, and here's how I'm going to do it.
That's very.
I have to move like this.
Somebody. This is only their guess, but to make them look less intimidating, there's just something about having that, like they're almost like frozen in a servant pose, like they can, like they're not going to come at, like they're going to come at you like
they
this.
Can be like, here's your tray of food, master.
Right. So that just sort of works that way. But it's interesting you think about this stuff. And then it's like, I'm sure that the reason was because they only had a part on set to make it look like that, and there's no actual like story reason, but you fabricate it in your head and you make it make sense. Bill, do you remember where you were 1 year ago?
Kind of.
You were right here.
Yeah.
We were doing the show.
I believe it was it a Friday or was it a Thursday?
Well, not exactly 1 year ago. I'm just saying, like, in the
A
vicinity.
year
like,
ago.
How
this area?
different? How different was your life? How different was the world 1 year ago?
I feel like there was a little more stress.
Okay.
Just in terms of like finding a place. Like,
oh, that's right. You didn't have your second house at this point.
We didn't have the have the second house. Yeah, I feel like that was the biggest portion of, like, that was taking a lot of my energy, was that.
Sure. Well, 1 year ago, a big event in my life is that I got the first series of Super7's Simpsons Ultimates.
Oh, yes. A benchmark
And
moment in your life.
I was blown away by how much I enjoyed these. So much fun. Deep Space Homer, regular Moe without his apron, Itchy and Scratchy Robots. Is that it? That's 4. Was there a 5th one? Poochie, yes, Poochie. Poochie, who I almost wrote off. I don't even know why I
sleeper
ordered
hit.
him. But he's a great figure. He's a great figure. Moe came with that panda. The panda had articulation. He had that box. You could put just a
Full
great
panda.
line. So I was really excited for Series 2 because it contained what I have thought to be figure of the year for multiple years at this point, Krusty the Clown. And then there was the whole process where the first render had him holding a cigarette, the monkey had a cigarette, and we were all like, there's no way Disney's going to let this fly. And sure enough, they took it. It's funny, I was thinking about how much Disney hates smoking, because you always see those pictures of Walt around the parks where they photoshopped out the cigarette, and that's where like the 2-finger pointing for cast members comes from, because it's like he had a cigarette in there and they were just like, no, that's the way he pointed, 2 fingers, and that's the origin of why the Disney point is 2 fingers. So there was no way that was gonna fly. So 1 year ago Series 1 came out. We've had 3 or 4 pre-order sets go up since then.
We have,
but no shipments. But this week,
right. And the line was canceled.
And the line was canceled.
And the line's been canceled.
Right.
Let's get that. It's ended.
We can't forget to mention that, yes, the line with the entire Disney line from Super 7 is done.
It's done. Right.
Probably really important to mention that.
Tack that on there.
But despite that, Series 2 finally shipped this week, and I put in my order on Entertainment Earth. I used code TOYPOD, saved 10%, saved me like $20. What is it?
I would say probably like
20. $25.
They wind up being like $49.
It's like half a figure. You get half a free figure if you order 4. Free shipping, great. So they've already shipped, so I should have those in 3 to 6 weeks, and I'm so excited to finally get my hands on that Krusty the Clown figure. And like, I was looking back at the line, you get Bartman. Now here's the thing. If they had only made this normal Bart, and then the Bartman was just one of the additional heads, this line would have been the perfect assortment, because you would have had one of those key characters in Bart. You would add Krusty the Clown, great figure. You had friggin' who's the rich
Scorpio.
Guy? Hank Scorpio with a flamethrower.
Yep.
Like
Classic
very
celebrity character.
Very popular character. And then you have Duffman, which is another great character.
He's an icon.
So I feel like Super 7 was so close to getting this formula correct. If only they had included one family member in their iconic look per set, then you could have done all the silly side characters that people love, the like really fun characters. But you had to at least give us one family member in their normal clothing like that. We needed that. We needed that. And I don't want to blame this line ended because Disney's relationship with Super 7 soured.
Right. It had nothing to do with the figures coming out delayed.
It's true.
That.
Like, we can sit here and Monday morning quarterback, all we want. But the line would have kept going because it was part of a bigger deal with Disney. Yeah. So, and then that next set was going to include Marge and Lisa in their normal clothing. Mm-hmm. So somebody had got to Brian Flynn and been like, listen, you got to do these. and he was doing it. But that set, c'est la vie, we'll never see it.
No. That last
But we did see...
What was that? That toy magazine? Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. This week, somebody leaked very high-res photos of those figures. So that's probably the best look we'll ever have at them, because I don't think they ever went into production. Like, they just exist as 3D renders, I think. Were those figures that we saw in the magazine actual product, or I think those were still 3D renders?
I think they were still 3D renders.
Right.
They had no articulation points attached to them.
No, they did.
Did they? Oh,
because I was like, I don't think I like how that. Yeah, well, at least these 3D renders that I saw this week do.
Yeah.
But we didn't think the head sculpts were like 100% there, because it's hard to do these characters.
These Simpsons, they're tough. They are tough.
They are tough. They're tough. Yeah. So Series 2, it's coming, and that means Series 3 is right behind it. Now, there's already a picture on eBay of the Krusty the Clown figure in the box. So we know it's real. Somebody was concerned that he did not come with the fabric robe that we saw in the preview pictures, because I guess in those corrected renders with the cigarettes removed, the robe was not apparent. But it does look like the fabric robe is included in the box. It's like scrunched up behind the front
What
stuff.
is the fabric robe? Like his smoking robe?
I think so, yeah. Like his Krusty Lou Studios robe.
It's a really deep one there.
But these are ultimates. These are $55 figures. It should include stuff like that.
It should.
I've been thinking a lot about these figures and like how close Super 7 was to doing it perfectly. And I think if they were able to make these 2-in-1 figures, sort of like how Jazzwares does with their AEW figures, where they include enough alternate parts that you make 2 versions of the character, I think that would have been seen as a good enough value that people would have jumped on these. So like Homer, you can give him his normal clothing and then like maybe like a pink version of his shirt, or just like something that you add to him that makes it look like another iconic look. And then Bartman, we just talked about that. Just make Bartman the head a separate piece, and then you have
it's
two
the cape
figures.
and the head. You do, yeah.
It's easy.
Very easy.
But it's all moot because this lie is canceled.
Yeah.
Enjoy
it's so
what
weird. You get.
Well, that's the thing. Every wave will seem like a gift because there won't be any more after, let's see, 3, 4? Are there 4 total?
I think it's 4.
So the next one is a weird one because it has the 2 aliens, and these are oversized. Very expensive
I like the look
figures.
of them. I don't know.
I do too, but there's so much. I went on Entertainment Earth and I added every remaining figure to my cart because they're all back in stock, or not. You know, you can pre-order them. A lot of them were pre-sold out, especially from this next set, Series 3. But now they're all back. You can pre-order them because I think people canceled the pre-orders when they found out the series is ending.
Of course, yes.
So if you buy from series, I guess it's Series 3 and 4. I guess that makes sense. Series 3 and 4, it's like $575, I think, because you have the 2 like larger figures that are more. They're like $75 each or something like that.
Right.
But you have Mr. Burns and you have Ralph in Series 2. Great.
3.
Series 4 is where we really realized that Super 7 was just like fucking with us, because you get another Homer, but it's Moo Moo Homer.
Moo Moo Homer. A fun figure. A fun character.
I mean, great. If we already had normal Homer, I would be celebrating this figure. It comes with a drinking bird. I wish he came with the popcorn bag that they gave him to leave the movie. That would have been nice. I
feel like, because we're going through all these, I feel like, you could have taken Moo Moo Homer out and put Boxing Homer in, because another figure in that wave is Dredrick Tatum. Like, whomever is asking for Dredrick Tatum at this point.
Well, that's why I was
don't know.
What is, why are you doing this, Super 7? Like, is there just like a fan of this character there?
There's one guy there who's like, I really wish as a kid I was playing with World of Springfield. Wish I had a Dredrick Tatum.
Maybe they thought that people would think it was Mike Tyson because that was what it was supposed to be, basically.
Yeah, so it's modeled after.
People would buy him. I mean, I'm excited for this figure. It's a big figure. I like big figures. He comes with that one shoe that we're still not 100% sure where that comes from.
Yeah.
I want to see how they do the title belt, because he comes with like the boxing championship belt. But will it be like the wrestling figure belt where you can put it on him, like it has the little clips? I'd like to see that. And then Ned Flanders as the devil, which, come on. Well, you didn't give us normal Ned. This is another one. They could have had the lower body be a separate piece, and then you could just clip it on there. Well, I guess you need his like bare chest, but
he's got a full outfit, because he's just completely different Flanders.
Yeah, but they should have tried something.
It's gonna be, it's gonna go down in history as like a very interesting like look at like how to either build up or destroy a line, because it's like a lot of questionable things to it.
I think if they only they included one normal figure per set, I think everything else people would have been like, okay, well, whatever. Because by four sets, you would have had 4 normal characters, and you would have had the whole family.
But you brought up the good point that like Jada Toys is doing such great things now, in stores with Mega Man and Street Fighter and everything. That if they picked up the Simpsons license, they might be able to do it like some justice.
I think they could do a good job. As a new company, it probably will be difficult for them to get a deal with Disney, but you never know.
Sure.
People are saying that because NECA already has a deal with Disney, that they maybe could do Simpsons. But we saw that. We saw what they did. We did. I don't know that we need to relitigate.
No, we don't need to play in that pool
World
again.
Of Springfield. I'd like to see, like, I really liked these Super7's Simpsons. If you could do them at a smaller scale. Honestly, I like the idea of giving them more articulation, but I really like the way that Mezco is doing their 5 points line, where you have swappable limbs, because then you don't break up the sculpt with like the elbow joints, but you can have them in different poses. So maybe that would be the way to go. Maybe that could be the way solution. To go. Yeah.
It's less of a tricky thing to add articulation points in with a 2-dimensional character that's represented in 3D. So
hey, maybe Mezco. Imagine Mezco do a 4.5 pack with the family and the couch.
That'd be
as
something.
As a something to start off with. Yeah. And then the packaging can look like the old.
Do it as a Comic-Con exclusive, and then release the line with just those figures. So
okay, yeah.
And then send us a sample.
Well, please. I'm trying to get on their radar. They're doing suddenly Mezco doing a lot of stuff that is right up my alley. Batman animated series,
Goonies.
Is that it? Oh, you know what? This is a good segue. Speaking of Mezco, so they're doing this 112 line, and this is sort of like their claim to fame at the moment. There's a 5-pack of the Power Rangers that was originally scheduled to come out in February, is now pushed to summer. Take all the time you need. Just make them good. I love that Green Ranger. I can't talk about it enough. But they're also doing Ninja Turtles, and that set shipped this week. So people were doing reviews of the Ninja Turtles 112. Now, the weird thing about even including the Turtles in 112 is that the whole point behind 112 is that they're 6-inch figures with cloth clothing.
Right, they're mixed media.
And the Turtles, I don't know if you know this, but famously do not wear clothing other than, like the trench coat every once in a while. So I always thought including the Turtles was a weird move, but people love Turtles. If you get the chance to make Turtles, you're basically printing money. So of course they were going to do them. And I think the first reaction that everybody is having when they see these is how small they are. Because they are comparisons. Yeah, they are intended to be 1/12 scale, which means if you put them next to a 6-inch figure, the Turtles are smaller than those characters, and sure enough, the figures represent that. So, if that bothers you, be aware. They come with a ton of stuff: alternate heads, weapons, display stands. They do come with the cloth trench coat, and Mikey has like a weird outfit, like he was dressing like a human.
What about their belts? Are they made of a fabric material?
I don't know if they're fabric, but they're at least like bent. Yeah, they might be like a pleather kind of material. Okay. They look really good. They look super detailed. The articulation is good, but they're a made up design. They're not based on any artwork. So it's, to me, it was like I don't need these because they're just Mezco's version of Turtles. They look great, don't get me wrong, but they just like, if I'm choosing where to spend my money, I wasn't going to spend it on that. Like I did spend my money on that Power Ranger set because I think those are going to be the definitive Power Ranger action figures.
In that
the other thing, well, yeah, but that's what I mean. You can do like what's that company that did the 12-inch Power Rangers?
Yeah, I'm thinking.
Yeah,
Ooh.
Those look fine. I mean, companies. When I'm thinking of figures, I'm thinking of that
4-0. Does that sound
3-0? Right.
3-0.
And they're doing Zeo next. And those are nice.
Oh, okay.
But there's something weird about the helmets. So that's the concern with the Mezco ones is we haven't seen the final product. But the heads for at least the helmets for Green Ranger and White Ranger are perfect. So I'm hoping that they carry that over with the other 5 figures. When Mezco does these multi-figure sets, like the Ghostbuster set I have, they had been shipping them in a big tin. So it's like you can keep them in the nice tin. But the Turtles just came in a cardboard box. So I don't know if that's a cost-cutting thing. I don't know what the Power Rangers set is going to come in. I just assumed, but maybe I should not assume. But I do hope that they come in the tin because that is such a unique way. And like you keep them in there. All the accessories stay nice in their little trays. I think the Fantastic Four set they did, which is, you can still get that from Entertainment Earth. I think that's in a tin too. Those figures are great too. People are having a lot of fun with those.
That's great. I don't know. You lose me on Mezco. It's one of those lines, companies.
I think you need to.
I don't see a lot out of them that interests me.
Right. I think you need to find that convergence of like, this is a line I'm super interested in, and this is the best way to do this. So like when they did the Ghostbusters, I don't think we even had the Plasma series at that point.
Right.
It was coming, but I don't think we had it. So I was like, oh, I'm really interested in how they do these. And they are good. If the face sculpts were more accurate, they probably would be like the best Ghostbusters, but the heads don't quite look enough like the actors. But you got to get like a Spider-Man at least. You got to get a Spider-Man because they do such a good job with those.
Okay.
Somebody send this poor man Mezco Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Let him know.
Let me borrow it.
I'll send you mine. You can borrow it. Just be careful. No. The legs are a little.
Someone will buy me one. Don't worry.
Put it on your Amazon wish list.
I will.
Mattel this week showing off the guns. This Dennis Nedry figure.
Oh wow!
From
what
Jurassic
a surprise.
Park. I mean, we knew that they were doing this sort of throwback line.
Yeah.
I've seen those figures on the clearance aisle. Like
they've hit clearance now. At least the blind box.
Yeah.
Dinosaur plus figure character pack-in sets have hit clearance. I'm waiting for that Rex to hit clearance because I think that's the one I want the most.
Which one is that?
Right. The red T-Rex.
Oh, okay, so it looks like that.
It looks like the original Jurassic Park one, yeah. So these right now, they've moved to clearance. Target's running a fairly decent clearance all around. You can find a lot of those Aquaman figures, the McFarlane Aquaman figures.
Yep.
In there, a couple Star Wars Deluxe. The Aquaman, I want that pirate. He's like a fish. Have you seen that?
That one's cool.
It's terrifying looking.
Yeah, I like that.
But on its own, it's like this is a wild looking thing. So that's on clearance right now. It's I think $20. So I'm waiting for it to like dip to like 11. Then I'll scoop
the Aquaman figure.
Not the figure of Aquaman, but the pirate.
No, I know, but how much are those figures normally?
Like 40.
No. Oh, it's big. It's like a mega figure.
Yeah, it's a large. It's a large
I got
figure.
you. I thought it was just like the standard. Okay.
No.
But with these Jurassic Park figures, I think you hit it on the head with the blind box packaging. They don't look like toys. It looks like it's a puzzle.
They don't. And that's so this newer one, this Nedry set, actually has a window cut to show off that there is a dinosaur in it.
Smart, yeah.
And people are saying that it's just an interesting set too, because it's Nedry. He's extremely happy. He's riding on an ATV. He has bare arms, and they're
showing off the guns.
He's jacked, and there's no Nedry figure like this. The only one that's close is the Series 2 Jurassic Park, where he's still the same action feature where you ripped his arms off. Yeah. But he was in like he was like in an orange. Well, the green turtleneck was Series 1. He had an like a reddish orange, similar to your color shirt right now. Oh. But still the same features, different baby dinosaur. And then the other thing with this is the raptor that he's chasing is colored like the raptor from, I think, Jurassic Park 3. Like there's more of... So it's kind of a mix. It's a weird mix.
Well, it's definitely not. Yeah, definitely not Jurassic Park 1.
I do like the Nedry figure, though. He does... It cracks me up.
It's very funny, yeah. They've done some funny things with this line, like the Ellie with the poop hands. Like, there's just somebody on there is having fun with it. I'm just looking at these renders now, and I'm looking at the elbows, and you can see the elbow joint on the inside, but his arm is turned. So, like, the elbow joint is, like, on the inside, which doesn't make any sense because you wouldn't turn your arm like this. So it's like, can he even put his arms in this pose to hold the bike? Like, it just looks wrong. Like, the 3D model should not be able to move that way.
It's like when you have, like, be fine. When Leonard Toys puts out, like, one of their cheap figures, and they're like, yes. You put them on the cheap little ATV, and they're like, hey.
Exactly.
The one leg's poking out, but the other one's sticking in there. Thanks, Leonard.
Mattel should just partner with Leonard at this point. It's like the same product.
Sure. So I don't know. Is this getting a release? Is this coming out to stores or
the Nedry set?
Yeah,
you can pre-order it right now on Target.com.
Oh, no kidding. Okay,
it's supposed to be out at the end of April. I know. How many people do you think pre-ordered this? 2? Why would you pre-order this?
I could probably name those 2 right now. It's Laura Legends and it's Clever Fangirl. That's it.
I don't know that second one. Clever Fangirl?
You've never seen Clever Fangirl?
No, it's a clever name, but I'm not familiar. Is she on YouTube?
Oh, funny.
What is her?
She's on Instagram.
The Instagram? All right, I'm looking right now. Do we follow her?
We might.
We do follow her. Well, there you go. Oh, well, there's a bunch of, like, Jurassic Park accounts, like toy accounts.
There are.
So maybe but even then, there's like whatever. Like, it's gonna go to clearance. Or there's gonna be a sale at the very least. There's gonna be a sale. Like, why would you pay $25 for this? Like, get out of here.
I mean, keep it going. I want to see. You know what I need to see? I need to see a John Hammond in the vein of this Nedry, like something totally just out there.
Do you remember that DC? Famously, there was this DC line, and it had the fractal gear. What was it called? Like Total Justice or something like that. This was back in the Kenner days. Yeah. Yes. And they just were insane.
I do remember
just like
this.
Design. Like, I want to see them go insane with these designs and just make these characters like superheroes. It's just,
we had the chaos effect after we had Jurassic. Yeah. I think it was Jurassic Park. After Jurassic Park and that main line ended, it transitioned to the chaos effect. Mm-hmm. And that's when you got some wild interpretations of dinosaurs where they were like hybridizing a saber-tooth with like neon a raptor colors. Or some crazy stuff. Neon colors. Yeah. Bright just do that with the humans and
do it with the
chaos
humans.
Effect.
Yeah. Right. You got to make the humans as crazy as the dinosaurs.
Do it like that. Make them all rubber ducks. I don't care. Do something.
Oh. Well, you showed me this week. We were talking about the what are they called? Tubs?
Tubs. We've been talking about rubber ducks for a couple weeks now.
Rubber ducks. My place of employment, rubber ducks are a big deal. So I've been rubber ducks are always in my purview. But we're talking about tubs the other week because I saw at Five Below they had mini tubs of like the Ghostbusters Stay Puft Man, Marshmallow Man as a duck, a couple other ones, and Minions. And they look great, and they're really $5, and that was my hang up on the ducks, is they're like $20, which is, probably fair, but again, just, I don't know,
expensive.
Just another thing to collect, too much. But on my subsequent trips to Five Below, I did not see the tubs, so either they sold out or they were not supposed to be on the shelves. I don't know. So if anybody knows the story behind tubs, but you showed me this week the Ghostbuster tubs, and these aren't the Ghostbusters. These are the other characters in the world of Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
Now, are these new? Villains. I almost feel like I've seen these before.
I thought you've mentioned in the past that they've done stuff, and just the details amazing, and the
oh my god,
little fine things within them is something else.
It's I almost want to say too detailed.
Yeah, right. They lose that duck essence, but at the same time, there's still just a little bit of that quality. I don't know.
I don't think they lose the duck essence because the duck face is there. They have the beak. It's kind of hard to lose it because it's yellow and
sure.
But just the wrinkles in the shirt and all the little doodads on Louis Tully's helmet.
Right.
It's just and then I love when they do a character like the Terror Dog, and then the duck's head is sticking out of the mouth he's just wearing a costume, but then the duck still has a scowl.
Yeah.
It's so great. Oh, these are the best. Yeah, they're $25. So $100 to get the 4.
No,
it's a lot of money.
That's when you just start a separate file on your computer or your phone, and you're like, pictures of this.
Just save the pictures, right.
I like that.
I think they come in a fun box that's like a tub, though. So, they would be great to have.
I believe it.
Yeah, the packaging is like a tub. I think that's really clever.
That's cool.
Oh, they're just so good. I was thinking, okay, so rubber ducks, that is an existing thing that people like. If you're a Jeep, if you have a Jeep, your dashboard is probably covered in them. But this is such a smart thing because it's you can do the character in a very recognizable way, but then you also have people who collect ducks interested in your toy. So it's two different distinct collecting communities. So I'm we need to think of something that's not ducks, but it's another animal or something, and make toys using that as the template. Because then we can do these amazing toys.
Right.
But we skirt that, Hasbro has the rights to do Star Wars, but you don't have the rights to do, Chinchilla as Luke Skywalker. It's that's what we could do.
Cats. It's all cats.
Cats might be good. Yeah,
cats are big.
I don't know. I don't know if I want to get involved in the cat world. I feel there's too much there. But something.
How about food-based? Food-based is fun too.
I do like when food is dressed as things. Okay, that's keep that in your pocket for a second, because I'm gonna come back to that. I think that's actually a really good idea. We have a couple of Kickstarter projects to check in on this week. The first one is from the company Nacelle. Now, Nacelle, they're doing Biker Mice from Mars. They're doing other things. I can't even think.
Comedians.
Well,
famous
I don't think they're doing those anymore, so we're not gonna lump those in anymore. They tried that.
They were made.
They were made, but I don't think there's any future plans for those. But they
Legends of Laughter. Was that what that was?
That's what it was called. It shall remain a legend, because nobody wanted that. But they're doing Biker Mice from Mars. Those final samples are the actual product starting to show up. We'll talk about that another time. But so they're just making toys the normal way. They take pre-orders and make the product. But they're doing a Kickstarter for this other line for The Expanse. Now, I don't know anything about The Expanse. Just looking at it, it looks like it takes place in space. So it's one of those Stargate, Star Trek kind of things.
Babylon 5.
Yeah. So what is The Expanse?
From what I gathered, and I never watched it myself, but from those that did, it was very similar to Game of Thrones, but it's in space. So you had the political drama, family drama, house drama, all that stuff.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
What was it on Sci-Fi? How did you watch it?
I believe it was on Sci-Fi. I think. Wait, no, it was on Amazon. What am I talking about? It was Amazon had it.
But it's done?
Wait, did Amazon have it? No, I think it was on Sci-Fi.
It looks like a Sci-Fi
Amazon. Then Amazon
yeah.
started distributing it because I think Jeff Bezos actually enjoyed it.
Ah, okay.
So much so that he like bought the rights to distribute and create.
But they're not doing any more?
I think it's over.
It's over. Okay.
It's over.
Well, it must have enough fans because The Cell is doing a Kickstarter. And currently, the goal is 225,000. They are currently at 90,000 with about 30 days left. So it could go either way. But now that we're mentioning it, I should push them over.
It's going to go to the moon.
It's going to go right to the moon. Now, as I said, I don't know anything about this, so I'm just viewing this from like a toy perspective.
Yeah.
The models, the renders that they are showing look amazing. So much so that I know there's no possible way that the final toy can look as good. There's just no toy that exists that looks this good.
Sure.
Like, I don't know, they're almost doing themselves a disservice because there's no way when they put these toys out, they're going to look this good.
That's sad. I'll have to check this out because you have to imagine, right? You have to. Like, it's like they need to like come forward with whatever technology that they're producing so that they can share it with other toy companies.
That's what we need to kickstart, whatever you're doing to make these toys. Now, there are some really fun things in here because I scrolled all the way down, and if you unlock $1 million, they will produce the flight deck chair, which looks sort of like either a torture device or if you go to the dentist and you're getting your cavities checked, like it's just a chair. But it's so funny. Like, I would love to own this. I don't think it's going to happen because I don't think it's going to get to $1 million. But I also don't I just don't see how this turns into a toy. Like, there's too many like really small parts, and I don't know. Yeah. But these are great renders. They look really nice, and it just backs up the idea that we should just have this video game where you can play as toys. Like, you don't even need to make the toys. You just make them as toys in video game, and then we'll play with them in there.
Perfect.
Right?
Perfect.
There's some event in Fortnite right now where a giant rock hand came out of the ground, and it has a box, a crate hanging from it. And as you play the game, you have to shoot at the chain because eventually the box will drop and we don't know what's in the box. Like, hopefully good weapons or something. But it's like the health bar on the chain. It's like it's gonna take weeks of everybody doing it. It's such a funny thing. It like brings the community together.
So wild. I mean, I see so much Fortnite right now on socials and TikToks, and it's
so
inundated.
Fun.
It's fun if you're into it, but
you got to be into it. You got to play.
My mindless scrolling is like I'm really just separated from TikTok entirely, just because it's either Fortnite and people streaming their stuff, or it's TikTok shop stuff.
Wow. Thank you for mentioning that, because this week, the Reluctant Adult Podcast was invited to become a TikTok shop influencer. I don't know what our official term is.
Creator? Yeah.
I guess so, but it's not like we're selling. We're not.
Okay.
But I guess we're creating content about the TikTok shop. Anyway, the idea now is we can select products, make videos that link to them, and then if people buy something through our video, we get a percentage. Great.
Oh.
Money is great. We love that.
Perfect.
Even better, even more realistic, because I don't know how many people are going to buy stuff. You can request free samples of whatever you want.
Sure.
And I guess they don't have to send it to you, but I think that's part of the deal. It's like, we want to promote this and sell, so send us one. So now the fun begins. We get to look through this, and from what I was seeing, you can request up to 5 per month. So if there's something on TikTok Shop that you would like to see the Reluctant Adult Podcast review, let us know, because we're definitely gonna do it. I definitely want to get some free stuff.
I'd love to get dressed up like Don West. Yeah.
Michael Jordan rookie card.
Shave my beard, grow the hair back a little bit.
There you go. R.I.P. Don West. But yeah, so the other benefit is that TikTok will promote your video for free.
Yeah. Wow.
So we're going to grow our audience while getting free stuff. It's win-win-win.
It's a lot of winning.
The only losers here are the people who watch our videos because they're just going to watch us hawking spinning brushes now. I'm not even going to pick like toy-related things. It's all going to be cleaning products. All cleaning products. Sure.
Hey, I saw one, and it almost, rather than go to the affiliate link in TikTok, I'll immediately go look for it on Amazon. So It was like are you familiar with busy boards for kids?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so this one was perfect for the child that's learning their alphabet, where it was enclosed and it was a magnet base, but each letter in the alphabet was attached to a car, and you would park the car in its parking space, which was also like a matching letter. And I was fun. Like, that's actually fun. And then like they had like simple 3-letter words at the top. Yeah. So like cat, you could drive your CAT cars up and spell cat.
Yeah.
So that might be coming home with me at some point.
Hey,
but
there you go. Well, maybe we'll get that one for you. You can review it.
We'll see. Oh, yeah.
I saw somebody on either TikTok or Instagram, their display room for their Hot Wheels was like the whole wall were these glass cases, but each spot looked like a parking spot. Like it had the lines, and some of them had like the handicap, but like there were thousands of them because it was a big space. And I didn't see the end of the video, or he didn't show it. Presumably he's going to put a little car in each spot.
Oh, nice.
So I just thought that was a nice way. We don't say a lot of nice things about the Hot Wheel collectors.
We don't.
Speaking of that, I asked you this week what your collecting ick was. And for me, when I see someone rifling through those Hot Wheels, I'm like, ugh, you give us a bad name, Hot Wheels collector.
I saw that the other day. I was at Target, and I saw a gentleman doing that, and his girlfriend, significant other, was behind him with the kid, kind of like wandering around, like, "What are you doing, Dad? Stop rifling through these."
Embarrassing me.
I mean, I'll look through the Hot Wheels. Here's what I look through for my Hot Wheels. If I'm looking, I'll look for the bat logo, the bat symbol.
Sure.
And I'll look for the little film symbol to see what little film car they've made. Those are it. That's it for me.
That's fine.
And if I don't find it right away, and usually I'm at the Dollar Tree, and like it seems like Dollar Tree, when they get Hot Wheels, they get the very generic. They don't get any of the treasure hunt ones or any rares or anything like that. But occasionally
you're giving me the ick right now. I don't even know what that is.
Am I?
You know too much. That's too much.
I know too much. You
know too much. Yeah, you're too integrated into the Hot Wheels.
I had to think about it. My biggest collector's ick is seeing somebody on social media post a picture of their carriage, and they'll have like 3 like items.
Oh, they bought 3.
They're all the same. Oh, that's going to the friend, and it's like, no, you're just going to try to sell those. But there's no collectability and value with modern figures right now.
No,
nobody wants extras or anything like that. It's ridiculous.
Not of just the normal
that's my big
figure.
ick.
Like if there's a chase, like maybe, but even so, if you wait like those, like maybe immediately have some value because people don't have any patience.
What did I send you? I sent you that case, that photo of that case of those Ushis. I think it was those Harry Potter Ushis. Those were at Dollar Tree, and my son had been looking for them for weeks because we picked some up because it was like, oh, something Harry Potter that he could enjoy and have fun with.
Sure.
And so I bought like 3 or 4 of them. He got some figures, and then we couldn't find them after that. So sometimes stuff's in and then it's gone. So we've been going to various Dollar Trees, and they've had ones for DC, they've had ones for Ryan's toys, but no more Harry Potter. So I walked into Harry Potter. I found some at another Dollar Tree because I go to too many of them. We pulled the golden Harry Potter from that set.
Ooh,
so that was
having
exciting.
Really good luck with these gold chases. My goodness, you got the Leo from from Moose. Yeah.
Thanks, Moose. There he is.
Thanks, Moose.
You're right there.
What you were just talking about, people taking photos of their toys. If there's an eBay listing and the photo was taken in store,
oh sure,
it's like they couldn't even wait to get home to take the photo for the listing. Have you ever seen somebody doing a toy hunt live?
I have not yet, thankfully.
No, okay. Have
you?
That would be rough. I don't think so. But maybe
I haven't. So the only time I ever saw anybody doing anything for social media was, I think, maybe 2 trips before going to Disney, and we saw somebody at the Animal Kingdom Lodge doing like a food review at like the table like adjacent to us, and it was just kind of like, it was almost like if you're like driving by and you look in a window and you see people like in their window and they're like, oh, I'm not supposed to be seeing that.
Right.
Oh,
That's right.
I feel weird. I'm not supposed to be seeing this.
Or when you drive around at night and people's lights are on and you can like see.
Yeah,
right
that's what I'm saying.
like,
that's what I'm saying.
It's not for me. It's not for me.
What are they watching on TV? I mean, that's a game I play with the kids. I was like, kids,
Oh, yeah.
and to keep them preoccupied. It's like, count how many people are watching TV. So it's like not necessarily what's on TV, it's just that the TV's on. And then my daughter somehow cheats and like just makes up that she's counting on. I'm like, no,
come on.
No.
You lose all your cows at that point if you cheat.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of toy hunts, did you watch the first edition of the new Pixel Dan Toy Hunt channel?
I have not. Is it something?
It is. He posts every Saturday. There's going to be a new one. So
is he going to places that people can actually physically go to, or is he going to like toy conventions out in like Ohio that are inaccessible for a good percentage of the population?
I do think it's going to be a mix, but for this one, it was a toy store. It was like a collectible store.
See, he's big on those. He's big on those.
Yeah, I don't think he does them in like Target. These are all.
See, I'd rather see that.
Well, I would like to see that. Yeah. But so I will give him props because he put some effort into the production, because he has his handheld camera, but he also has another person there filming him, which I feel like is like a necessary step up in the production.
Right.
I just think that's nice. I wish he didn't have like that very visible mic that like the influencers wear now. It's like a big square. But that's just like a person. That's my production ick when the mic is too obvious. But I guess I'm not one to talk about mics and quality, because if you heard the show last week, you could hear that I tried something a little different. And I used a different mic. And it's so, I don't know. I tested it. It sounded fine.
Yeah. And I should have said something much sooner, but I was just like,
even if you did, I would have kept doing it, because I would have been like, no, it'll sound fine when I do it. But yeah, that we won't be doing that again. But I did put the mic on the other side, so there's like more space here, so you can see my shirts.
Right.
Like, at some point, I would like us to have shirts. I'd like to promote them.
I said to you, I'm facing opposite you, so it just looks like we're having a conversation, and you can also see my shirt.
What I like to do is try different things, and then if it works, great, keep doing it. If it doesn't work, we know, and we don't do it again. So that's one of the things that we won't be doing again, for this at least. So good audio.
I mean, that goes all the way back to episode 1, where we're like, oh, the podcast, it worked, and now we're continuing to do it.
Right. That's exactly it.
We did one, we can keep going.
But we did one. Thank God that first one worked. Although very quickly after that, we had lots of problems. Yeah. But 227 episodes later, here we are.
Dang.
So.
Dang.
People were really mad at Wendy's this week. And I think now would be a great time. I think now would be a great time to bring back the Wendy's TikTok face and start roasting people. Get like, Wendy what back. Better time? Like, just really lean into the heel persona, like you're The Rock. Like, just eat it up.
Heel Wendy.
If you didn't hear this story, Wendy's their like board or CEO or whatever announced at one of these conference calls with whoever,
shareholders.
I don't. Is that what it was? It was like a shareholders meeting, and they're like,
it's
"We have this great
shareholders
idea."
Meeting or just a PR thing.
Yeah. So they thought this was going to be well received. People are going to be like, "Oh, that's a good idea." And the idea was to use dynamic pricing, where when it's really busy, you make the price of food more because they're gonna eat there regardless. Why not milk your customers for everything they got?
Well, they're running along the same line. Not to interrupt, they're running on the same line as like an Uber or a Lyft work with.
100%.
That's their surge pricing.
Yeah, because it's like you know, there's a limited supply. Whoever's willing to pay the most is going to get the thing. But it's not the same. In theory, you have enough hamburgers to go around. We're not fighting for the same burger. So there's no incentive for me to be like, oh, this burger costs $20 now. Well, I'll just go across the street to McDonald's where it's not that much.
You're the guy right before. You're the guy right after the guy that gets it for the lower price.
The price changes.
You go up, and it immediately. Oh, now it's $1 more, and you're like, but wait.
Everybody.
That's not how that works. It's like, well, sir, just come earlier when it's less busy.
Oh my God, could you imagine the poor employees if that ever got instituted?
Oh, they can barely handle enough.
Sitting in their car looking at the scoreboard changing. It's like, I want my burger now.
Right.
Big whammy, no, or big money, no whammy, stop.
No whammy, stop.
But I think they're still going to do it. I know they said they're not, but I think they're already investing in the menu boards that have digital signage that changes. I think I saw a video of them blinking.
Competitors are coming back and being like, yeah, well, we're not doing this. And I think Burger King is actually just giving Whoppers away.
Sure, yeah. Burger King
you
buy
really
a
sandwich and then you immediately get a Whopper.
Burger King, I'm not sure how they're still in business, just based on like looking at them.
They got that great jingle.
Well, that's the thing. I feel like at this point they're almost like an advertising company. I don't think they actually sell food anymore.
No, they just push a product.
Like they had the Into the Spider-Verse Whopper, but I didn't get it. Like it didn't exist. So like I don't think it really exists like as a food option. I think it's just
it existed.
Advertising, marketing. No. You got one.
I ate it.
But I didn't.
Yeah,
I can't.
I got pictures. I've got a couple pictures.
I got pictures too, but they're all AI.
Oh.
So Wendy's bad. What are you doing, Wendy? Come on.
You
can't say this stuff out loud. You just got to do it. Hope people don't notice.
Right. Or just you just raise the prices in general. I mean, just be satisfied with it. Don't reinvent the wheel when you're just selling food. There's nothing basic and dynamic about it. It's food.
I do feel like this was going to be the straw that broke the camel's back.
Sure.
And that people had their pitchforks ready. Because everybody now is noticing these prices are like way higher than they need to be.
Yeah.
And like people are starting to be like, wait a minute.
Right.
Are they just taking advantage of us?
If you don't like it, you can eat cereal for dinner. So,
well, that's true. That was what the Kellogg's guy said. A lot of people are eating cereal for dinner because it's cheaper.
Right.
It's going to be a good year for us. But then the other thing is fast food used to be the cheap option, but now it's
it's gourmet. Forget about that.
I know you could go to like a real restaurant. So people are going to look inward and start cooking more at home, which is probably better for their health. So maybe this is like a good thing in the long run. I guess you got to look for the silver lining and all this stuff. As society crumbles, look for that silver lining.
You got Kellogg's real quick with the Kellogg's thing. You got the CEO saying eat cereal for dinner, breakfast for dinner. And I'm thinking to myself, I had two thoughts of this. It was like breakfast for dinner for me at least includes eggs, sausage. It's probably an omelet. It's not cereal, first of all. And then the other thing was it just brought me back to Futurama with Fry eating the Bachelor Chow, which was just basically like a bag of cereal.
Yes, it's very good.
That's
where we're heading, man. These shows, they knew what was going to happen.
Yeah, they predicted.
We didn't want to believe it.
The Simpsons did it.
Simpsons and Futurama. Your wife's favorite wrestler, Sting, is retiring.
Correct.
He did retire. When you hear this, he will have been retired. You broke the news to her. She was not aware.
I did.
That he was still wrestling.
I brought up her favorite Sting action figure. And I passed it to her, and I said, "What do you think about Sting?" And she's like, "He's great." And I said, "What if I told you that he's retiring?" And she was like, "He's not already retired?
He's still alive. 65 years young."
She's like, "He's in his 70s." And I go, "No, I think he's in his mid-60s."
Mid-60s, yeah.
But still.
way too old.
Quite the
to be
feat.
doing what he's doing. He looks great.
No, but still, why slow down? Yeah,
why stop? He's jumping off things through tables, crazy stuff.
Right.
So he's ending. Jazzwares is interesting. So they make the AEW figures. And
they do.
I've gone on record saying that I think they are the best wrestling figures on the market in terms of the engineering of the actual figures. In terms of marketing them and like getting them into consumers' hands and all that stuff, not the best. Jazzware is a youngish company. They're and also they do Squishmallows, which just kind of have sold themselves. It's like a different market than wrestling.
Plushy things.
So all the AEW Jazzwares accounts posted this week that they were going to have a big announcement on Friday. So Friday comes, and they had a time. It was like 9 Pacific, which is noon.
Yep.
Here's another thing. I know you're in California, but just use Eastern Standard as the time. Nobody cares out there. We're all over here. We're on this side.
Right.
Just use like the real time. So at noon, there was going to be something. And what it ended up being was an announcement of this Daniel Bryan figure that is exclusive to Target. It got leaked a week earlier, so it was not a big deal to anyone. Everybody knew it was happening already. But then everyone was like, oh, they made such a big deal about the announcement, and then it was nothing. One figure that we already knew about. But then later in the day, Walmart, for their Collector Con, announced a Sting Supreme figure. And it's the first time the AEW has done Sting with a singlet top, not a molded on t-shirt. So this is like that CM Punk figure that I like that comes with all the heads and like different t-shirts and stuff. So they're doing the Sting. He's got like the butterfly joints. He got like a jacket, a shirt, a long sleeve shirt, like all this great stuff. So that's like a much better announcement. So then people are like, okay, well that's good. But then at almost like midnight, the Instagram for AEW put up a virtual turnaround of an Adam Copeland render for formerly Edge, now his real name Adam Copeland. So it's like that figure's coming out when we don't know, but it's like they're still working on stuff. So it's like in the end, it was actually a pretty good day of reveals, but because they said it was happening at noon and we got that one figure, everyone was like, again, these lame reveals. So Jazzware's not always doing themselves any favors with the way they announce things, but if they could get these toys into our hands, that CM Punk retro series hit a couple weeks ago, and now there's another set that's already hitting stores before it even gets to ringside. So I'm sure those guys aren't happy, but like, if you could get these figures out on shelves, because everyone's very concerned about the health of this line.
I think everyone's also very concerned with like the health of AEW.
Well, that's fair, but it's backed by a billionaire, or the billionaire's son. So
sure,
I think as long as they have a TV deal, they'll be okay. I think as long as they have that. If they ever lose that and they can't find anyone else,
it's my outsider's opinion from what I've heard.
Yeah,
I heard things. That's all. That's all I got to add to it. I heard things.
Where did you hear these things? From
comments out of the internet.
Comments, the internet. Okay.
Someone else, of course, not myself. They aren't my opinions.
Sting's retirement match.
Sting's it.
They're going through some growing pains. I think that's fair to say.
Sure,
but it's like also at the same time, WWE is like the hottest it's ever been. They finally got rid of Vince. You got this whole Cody the Rock storyline heading into WrestleMania. So like just by comparison, Punk is back even though he's hurt. He's like he's in the mix kind of. So yeah, but we wish them all well. I think at the end of the day, it's better to have competition because it makes the product stronger and it gives like
of course
opportunities to
really
more guys.
Allows you to and it allows the creative teams to be a little bit more creative.
Try some new things, see what works. Yeah, it's good for everybody. Good. Do you get the feeling that John Cena is too weird for Hollywood?
I do now.
Yeah.
I if you asked me that question maybe 5-10 years ago, I'd say no. I'd say he was just probably just mapping the same trajectory that The Rock had been doing 10 years prior to that.
Yeah.
But now he's kind of like found his way into like, I mean, he's lost weight. He's not as muscular as he was. He just kind of looks like your average guy. But he finds himself like doing like comedic relief and like he's the butt of the joke now. And I don't know.
I just think like as a human being, he's a weird guy. And I like I still don't think he's from this planet.
Okay.
Like only kind of half joking. Like I don't know, if it's like a Venom situation where like a rock with some sort of goo hit the earth and impregnated his mother or something. I don't know. Like his dad
this is the
like
conversation. This is the conversation that's going to get us stitched with or duetted with John Cena on TikTok. Just so you're aware.
That's the way he uses social media is weird because he'll just post.
Oh, of course.
On Instagram,
I've heard about
especially.
this.
He'll just post
he has
something
a really odd Instagram
with no context.
Right.
And he'll follow random people.
Okay.
It's just like he just does all these weird things. The latest weird thing is he started promoting his OnlyFans.
Oh.
Now immediately everyone realized this was just promotion for a movie. Because even though he'll just post like see my OnlyFans, like it doesn't use his name, it uses like a character's name. And I'm like trying to find out what the character's name is, but it's not even like even apparent. It's just like all these articles are about, and like he's using double entendre. He's like, oh, come see me playing with these balls. And it's like, okay, well, it's probably going to be you with like a couple of like rubber balls, and sure enough, that's what it is.
Of course.
And there are several like that. So it's like these jokes where I don't even know in what context or what like decade this would be funny.
Yeah.
But it's not working. I feel like this is not clever. It's like too obvious.
Okay.
Like once you get over the fact, like if someone says, "Did you see John Cena's on OnlyFans?" and you're like, "What? Is it like a joke?" Ooh. And it's like, "Yeah, it's a joke." It's like, "Oh, okay." And then it's like all the things he's doing. It's like, "Well, that's stupid." I don't know.
Of course.
He's just such a weird guy. I don't know. And I don't see him breaking through the way that The Rock did. Now, maybe you can find a role like Peacemaker where he can be weird and that's perfect for that character. But I don't see him being like a real leading man character in the way that I think he expects to be.
Yeah. No, I feel that. I feel like he's going to be best served as almost like a has-been role, and that he just resurfaces and has that miracle casting call. The one would come up would be primate Keith Sutherland in 24.
Okay.
He just kind of like middle of the road, career's kind of taking a dip, and then he's like, I'll take this Fox show. Why the heck not? And becomes the biggest thing.
But
did I ever tell you how much of a fan I was of that show?
Yeah, I remember.
Loved that show.
Is it good? Does it hold up for a rewatch?
I should watch it again because I don't even know. Probably
was it too
doesn't.
Gimmicky? Because it was supposed to be like real time.
It was real time.
Well, I know, but that's the gimmick. But you never saw them go to the
gimmick.
bathroom, so was it real time?
You saw him eat. As every TV show has
never
that episode.
Saw him taking a shit. Are you saying that day Jack Bauer decided I'm not going to go to the bathroom. I'm going to hold it.
He flatlined. I mean, I'm assuming he went.
Damn.
Well, that was spent. Those were the parts that you didn't see when they focused on other characters.
Okay, fair enough.
He was going to the bathroom that whole other time. Every single minute that passed and they were showing CTU, Keith Sutherland was in the bathroom taking a huge dump. That's how it works.
I would like to see the fan episode like they do The Office of that, which is just him in the bathroom constantly. The stuff you didn't see. Beep. That's what I want.
Beep, beep, beep. Oh man, that show was just divine. Oh
wow.
Oh, right up there with King of the Hill.
Could they do it again? Could they keep it going?
I don't know. They kept bringing it back. Little movie here and stuff like that. Okay. I think they did a 12 episode season once, and it was like, what are you up to?
It's not. It's only half a day. It's not
enough. It was.
Did you see the Superman photo that I think we've established as fake at this point?
Oh, really? Is it fake? I think you sent it to me, and
yeah,
I had questions.
There's an official photo of the emblem on his chest that James Gunn tweeted, the S. Yeah. But then the photo of him, the Superman full body with a short cape, and then the S doesn't look the same as the logo. So that's sort of a clue. But I think James Gunn, I think he tweeted, come on. So that could be taken a few ways, where it could be like, come on, there's no way this is real. Or it could be, come on, stop ruining my movie. Stop leaking my photo. So I don't know actually if it's fake or not. But that cape, real short, shorty short.
They're coming out with a lot of casting announcements for those movies now too. So
they had everybody at the table read, and that was a big thing. They had a big family photo. The funniest thing in my mind, I'm just picturing they're doing all this. We see all these photos of everybody so happy making this movie, and then it ends up like that Coyote movie where they're like, "It's better if we delete this than release it."
Oh sure.
You just have like the documentary of the film where it's like everybody's so happy and thinks it's so good, and then one guy's like, nah, it's better if we get tax incentives and we just literally delete the film.
I don't have high hopes for this movie. I really do hope it does well, but
it's going up against Fantastic Four, so
I think I'd be more excited for the new Superman movie than the Fantastic Four at this point.
I don't know what to feel. I hate Superman. But they've never been able to do a good Fantastic Four. But like in theory, it should be great. Actually, I won't say that. Seeing those original Fox Fantastic Four movies, I thought they were fine. I mean, I saw the second one in theaters, so I must have thought it was good enough. I saw the second one in theaters
too. So of course. I think it was Silver Surfer was one of my favorite characters as a kid. Like,
really?
Just in try. I liked the action figure. I wasn't necessarily that big on the comic. I liked the figure, the Toy Biz figure.
He's so shiny.
He was.
Did that one have magnets to let him stick to the board?
No, the board had just two little hollow inserts that would that you would stick his feet in. But they made a second one. The first one was kind of just like a painted silver. Yeah. And then the second one was he was a little bit more slender. The board was thinner, but it was vac metal.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah, he got his own subline, right? From the cartoon. They did a Silver Surfer wave. Because they were larger.
He had the cartoon. He had the TV show. Yeah, Silver Surfer.
But they did show. They weren't Toy Biz started doing like larger scale, but I feel like these were out of scale with everything else.
That was always great. What always brings it back for me is they had King of the Hill. They had Hank Hill promoting Silver Surfer.
That's right.
I love that clip. For Fox Kids.
Is that why you
the Hills?
Love those too much?
That's so funny. I appreciate that.
Wow.
Mr. Surfer, I think I could modify your board to utilize propane.
Silver Surfer is going to be a woman in this new one, I've heard.
Yeah, I've heard that as well.
Haven't confirmed that, but we'll see. We'll see how that works. Probably the biggest story this week was the Willy Wonka experience over in
Dublin? Glasgow Willy Wonka.
Okay.
Glasgow.
Yeah. It really brought the internet together, and I love events like that.
It did.
Now, the other thing that the internet loves are these Miniverse balls, and the end cap, seasonal end cap at Target has a Easter one. I don't think it says Easter. It's probably like spring. Yeah, it says spring. Spring. So apparently, there are chase versions of the ball that have Willy Wonka stuff in them, and you can tell. Without opening the ball completely, you just have to get to like the second layer.
Really?
So I just want to see.
You don't have to bring like a scale or like an earwax camera or an ear camera or anything like that.
You do, unless you want to rip open the first layer.
That's when I know. When I walk into a store, and that's when I know it's time to shut down with humanity. Is when I see somebody going with the food scale and start weighing the blind box figures.
Is that your collector ick?
It's one. I got many, but that's another one.
Well, while I do this, give us another one.
Oh, all the icks. What other icks? While you're like chewing packaging, skizzers. Let's see. What else gives me the ick? I feel like moms in the toy aisle tick me off a lot.
They don't belong there. What are you doing?
They don't belong there.
That's
they
for
don't.
grown-ass adult men.
Right, and maybe his sidekick child.
Okay, this is not one. This would be like a Wonka symbol.
Oh, okay.
So I got one more.
Oh, wow. See, I've tapped out on the mini brands. My kid isn't really interested in them anymore. I don't know why.
I feel like it's a good Christmas thing, but like we definitely stopped caring. Like I bought the drink one, and I didn't even do it.
I bought that. I've got that huge set that's gone unopened. The huge set. That's another one. Damn it! Oh, you're done. It's as disappointing as
no Wonka
the Glasgow Willy Wonka experience.
Winnie Wonka, yeah.
Winnie Wonka.
Didn't they change? They didn't call him Willy Wonka. They called him Willy Chocolate or something like Chocolate Willy.
Yeah, no, it was like Willy's World. Or
Willy's World. Party on. Well, now I don't even want to do the show anymore. I'm
sorry.
One final thing for this week. Are Transformers naked?
I mean, I guess it's just your definition of naked. Is a bear naked?
But a bear doesn't turn into something else.
That we know of. It hibernates.
Sure.
Okay. I would say, I don't think it's ever... Yeah, no, here's the thing. That Michael Bay movie.
Yeah.
Bumblebee literally urinates on the guy.
Right.
He's naked. He's naked.
Yeah.
I feel like they're naked.
Well,
yeah.
This all comes back to the last one we were at, trying to think of... Yeah? Oh, okay.
If you go further on into, I think maybe... I don't know if it was Dark of the Moon or the one after it. You have that character who was in the samurai outfit.
Yes.
And that was like his transformation. So what the hell? Yes. I don't know at this point.
Inconsistent.
It is wildly inconsistent. I feel like as those movies progressed, the more clothing they acquired within their Autobot persona, or their Autobot form.
Well, famously in the cartoon, Grimlock wore an apron.
He did.
Because we have that Super 7 figure. So I feel like...
We will eventually when he's marked down another $10. We'll have that figure.
Yeah, it's coming. Well, this all stems from last week. We were thinking about figures that have bare feet from that Todd figure. And I was like, do Transformers wear shoes? But then I was like, are they wearing anything?
Ooh,
I don't think they... I think they're straight up naked. Because like you said, a bear... I mean, I guess you'd have to say a bear is naked because if you took the shirt off Yogi Bear, or the tie, I guess. Boo-Boo wears a shirt, right? Yeah.
Boo-Boo wears the tie. Yogi has the collar. Boo-Boo wears the bow tie. Yogi Bear has the collar and the full tie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
We watched the live action Flintstones last night, and my kid was laughing so hard.
The John Goodman one with Rick Moranis?
The first one, yeah.
Oh, no kidding, really?
What great casting in that movie.
Perfect casting.
It's such a slice of time, though, because could you ever envision a movie being made like that today? Like, that was just like it was the 90s, right?
It was 90s. It was pre-internet. It was pre-internet, pre-cell phone, obviously. Yeah. So, like... Everything
not pre-objectifying women though. That Halle Berry character, Jesus Christ, man, they went for it. They're like, we're selling this movie to adults.
Where did you watch this? What streaming service? Maybe I'll put it on for my kids tomorrow.
I don't know, Peacock, Netflix, something.
Okay, I'll just say it into the remote.
The second one is on there, but we don't have whatever it's on.
Okay,
but they switched the actors, right? Was anybody a holdover?
I don't believe so, and they added the alien as well.
Yeah, I don't care for that. I bet they wanted so much money because it was. Probably. I mean, I was gonna say it's good. It was good.
It was.
But it was like needlessly faithful to the cartoon. I don't know. It was crazy. But it was fine. It was good. It had like a real story too. It wasn't like an origin story. It's like they created this like. They just like jumped into it. Like, here's a story. Yeah. You know who these characters are. We don't need to introduce you to them.
You should already know this. The world has already been built. You have to understand that he's going to go to the drive-thru and the giant rack of ribs is going to knock the car over. That's what you got to see. That's what you have to expect.
Yeah. Do your homework.
You don't want to watch Fred Flintstone invent the wheel first and then put it on his car so he can pedal it with his feet. We don't want to see that.
We don't need.
Could you imagine if that was the movie and they were like, all right, for the first 20 minutes he's gonna figure out how to do this wheel, and then we're gonna go from there.
Audience they were just smarter back then. The audience,
they were
they didn't need it to be spoon fed to them.
No, everything that was is mechanical to us was attached to an animal back then. It's great. You got a pterodactyl whistle.
Yep.
To end your shift.
It's perfect.
Take a shower with a woolly mammoth test.
The pig under the sink for the disposal. And then they swapped him out with another pig. I don't know why that one was better, but they thought that one was better.
Then they upgraded the pig. They got a new
I know,
model.
but it was like the same pig. He was just not as fat. I don't know. You think you want the fat pig.
It's tremendous.
Whatever. All right. Anything else for this big week?
Nothing. I don't have a thing.
All right, one more thing.
Chock full. All right.
There's more stuff, but whatever. Playmates is doing those first turtles. The really chunky first appearance.
Oh, those are Playmates?
Yeah, it's Playmates. Yeah, I know.
Oh, wow.
Right?
Okay.
So those look fun. You know they're going to do the black and white version, too. So
sure.
They're going to get their money's worth. I can't wait to see them because, Playmates love to reuse the molds. We're going to see these, they're doing, they did Stranger Things with the turtles. Who can you put these turtles with and have it be, the most ridiculous thing ever?
The Flintstones.
There you go. Look at that.
That's what it looks like. Right.
That's what we need. There we go.
You brought up Masters of the Universe real quick. Someone leaked a photo of the Masters of the Universe cross Stranger Things, Skeletor, and Demogorgon pack.
So stupid. Yeah.
Demogorgon is still just the Demogorgon. It's not Demogorgon Man.
Demogorgon or stupid.
Yeah.
Skeletor is just a different shade of his colors.
Right, and it's just a 2-pack, and it's just the standard flip it over, and that's I think that's collectively how they've decided to market anything Stranger Things, is to just make sure the package can be flipped over.
Right,
and that's it.
That's enough. People get it.
The single selling point. It's I get it. Yeah.
There's nothing else that makes that Skeletor seem like he's from Stranger Things. He's just upside down if the other characters are right side up. Very good. All right, Bill. Well, you know what we say? We don't want to grow up, but we already did. Have a great week, everybody.
Bye, everyone.